Now, friends, hopefully you're having a great, wonderful day out there in the wasteland, and today's video is one that I wish I didn't have to make because it's some sad news, but it's some real talk that we need to have about the future of Fallout 76 and other Bethesda projects. You see, Asha Sharma just dropped a newsletter on July the 6th talking about the restructuring that Xbox is going to be doing. And on July the 6th, 1,600 people lost their job. And a lot of these people, if you look at this list right here on the screen, you'll see a lot of these names that you probably recognize from a lot of projects, and there is some high tenured people inside of this list. Now, this isn't 1,600 names, of course, and huge thanks for people compiling the list, but this is a sad day for 1,600 individuals and potentially 1,600 families losing their job. And to those 1,600 people, I know a few of you, we've had a great conversation over the years of me being a content creator, and I just want to say I'm sorry to you 1,600 people who lost your job. Hopefully you can find a project or something that you enjoy to do, and thank you so much over the years of your service for the Xbox community. And well, that's not all, friends. You see, it's not just 1,600 people. There is another 1,600 people coming later on in this year that are going to be let go from their position. Now, friends, if you look at this list, it's names, like I said, that you might recognize, and there's some that you might not. But if you're a Fallout 76 player, there is definitely some names on here that you are going to be familiar with, and they've put a lot of time and effort into Fallout 76. There's some Elder Scrolls Online people here. There is some Blades people, and friends, I just gotta say, it's a sad day for this to happen, but I do have to be thankful to Asha Sharma and the team for being so open and honest. She released a letter to the public that she sent out to the team first, and this is an important email I sent today to all employees at Xbox, which, by the way, if you enjoy this type of content, if you'd like to see me getting into talking about gaming news, let me know down in the comment section below. This is something that's out of the norm for me, but it's also something that I keep up with day to day, and Frugan and I are getting the podcast up and back going, so let me know down in the comment section if you'd like to see me cover more gaming news. Maybe it's something that I can add to the YouTube channel. But we are beginning the most significant restructure in Xbox history, and I'm not going to sit here and read the entire thing. I will have a link to this down in the description below, but there's some key points that I want to talk about in this bit. After careful consideration, I've made the difficult decision to reduce our team by approximately 3,200 throughout FY27. This will include approximately 1,600 role eliminations today, and in addition, 4 studios will leave Xbox to new management. I recognize that a year-long restructuring creates additional challenges. Unfortunately, it is not possible to make all the necessary changes in a single day, and I wanted to be direct about the scale. Honestly, this is something that players want. This right here, communication, just straightforward, lay it on the table, tell us exactly what you are thinking. And it's a thing that, yes, it's a band-aid that hurts to rip off, but it is a band-aid that needs to be ripped off. We need to know this sort of stuff. And the simple fact that down here, like if you look through this, you will see our business today is not healthy. We are operating at margins that are 3 to 10 times lower than compatible platform and publishing businesses. We entered Gen 9 with a smaller install base and higher cost structure to grow. We bet on Game Pass, multi-platform, and broader portfolio content. While those businesses have created meaningful value, they did not grow at a pace we expected. And this is a thing that I can understand, where you bet big on a certain strategy working out, but over time, cost of hardware goes up, cost of services goes up. We absolutely, as gamers, understand that. And it was crazy to me how open they were in this. You see right here, they were talking about they lost 64 cents for every dollar that they invested. And that's absolutely insane to be throwing that much money at something and losing that much money while trying to invest in building a platform. Now, look, it's not all bad news that we're going to be talking about here today. There's actually good news in this. And honestly, it's good news kind of for Elder Scrolls Online, kind of for Fallout 76, and the studios that are leaving Xbox. You see, Compulsion Games and Double Fine Productions will return to management and transition to independent studios with their IP. The fact that they're letting them keep their IP absolutely amazing, and their catalog and a runway for their next games. Ninja Theory and Undead Labs have entered terms to join a new ownership with funding to complete and grow Senya and State of Decay 3. In France, Arcane's management is beginning the required consultation with its Works Council to review potential strategic options, because you see, some places in the world you have to go through a lot of like jumping hoops to, you know, let a studio go, let people go. It's not like some parts in the world, like where I am in Georgia, you can just be let go day of, no questions asked. It's just, you know, there you go. But the fact that Compulsion, Double Fine are going to keep their IP, their catalog, and a runway of money to work on their next games, and the fact that Ninja Theory and Undead Labs are going to be going to new ownership, but also getting funding to complete the games that they are currently working on or and slated to release, that is an absolutely huge thing. And we'll have to keep up to date to see what's going on with Arcane and stuff like that. But you see, not everyone is safe. You see, we're also making reductions across other units, and in some cases shifting investments to focus on higher priority projects. These changes vary in size across Activision, Bethesda, ZeniMax, Blizzard, King, Mojang, and Xbox Game Studios. None of our first-party publicly announced games or projects are being canceled as part of these reductions, but that means that there are potential projects that we haven't heard about yet that may not see the light of day. In addition, Mojang and King will now report directly to Asha. These two studios have increasingly become platforms and are our largest monthly active players. They bring critical geographic, demographic, and differentiation to Xbox. And they're saying that they're going to reset their platform. Now, here's a thing that if you didn't hear me before in many of my videos where I talk about the slow turning ship of Bethesda and why it seems like it takes so long for Bethesda or anyone to go and make a change. Like Fallout 76, for example, right now, friends, I'm going to tell you this, your voice absolutely matters. Your voice right now matters more than you realize, because during a restructure and things like this, you tell the company what you don't like, what you do like, because friends, they're open to make changes. And during a time of restructuring, they are very open to make some changes. Now, you see right here is something that I've always said, but I've never known the actual number. I just know how bigger companies work. So it's one of those things that I've always said, Bethesda is a big ship. It's not a little sailboat anymore that can make turns and stuff like that. Now, friends, and I don't know that it's the number that was in Bethesda, but just in a generalization, what Asha says, there were as many as 14 layers of management. 14 layers. That means that, you know, John would go and say something to Bill. And I'm just using Fallout 76 people that I know. But like, say John goes and says something to Bill, so they'd have to schedule a meeting. They'd have to find time to talk to each other, even though they work like right down the office from each other. But then Bill needs to go say something to Marty McFly. And, well, Marty's kind of a busy person, so maybe it takes a week for Marty to find time to talk to Bill or John. And so you see, this is how the process of more middle managers is something that it looks like they are going to be taken away, and having at least, I think it was 5, let's see, today in some parts of the company, work passes through as many as 14 layers of management, or platform teams are 40% larger than they were at this start of the generation. That complexity has slowed decisions, blurred accountability, and made it harder to deliver for players. Let's see, we will reduce management layers to no more than 5, and where possible, 3. So this means hopefully more people will be able to get decisions made in a lot faster of a time. Because friends, 14 layers, even if it was just say 10, that still slows the ship down a lot. And there's no accountability, because it could have been, you know, number 7 saying, I don't really think that's a good idea, but 8 going with a good PowerPoint or something like that and saying, oh, look at here, this is absolutely amazing. And now here's the thing about it. As Xbox grew our headcount, we became more fragmented. Teams, studios, functions often operate independently, and it became harder to work towards a shared goal, make the right trade-offs, and get things done. And this is something that is absolutely one of those things that a big ship has a slow turning point, and it really makes it to where you can't have the conversations. Like, I've talked to people before, and they were talking about how at Gearbox, how it was so awesome for them to be able to sit down at lunch and throw ideas to another designer or something like that. But then as the company grew, you can't have those sort of conversations anymore. You can't just sit down at lunch and, talk to Todd Howard, or you can't just sit down at lunch and talk to someone that works at Gearbox or anything. You can't have those meaningful conversations with each other like you could at a smaller business on a smaller ship. So this is something that I'm very hopeful for. And then there was also an update by this user that shared it from, I guess it was the ESO team. I'm not really familiar with the ESO team. I got to meet some of them at the Summer Game Fest days and talk to them, but I'm not very familiar with them. Now, for the future of Elder Scrolls Online, because they just changed the way a lot of their things work, and something that got sent by Jessica Folsom. As we get ready to launch Season 1 this week, we wanted to reaffirm our commitment to the Elder Scrolls Online. Our team's immediate focus is on launching Season 1, which we're all excited for you to jump in. Looking beyond Season 1, the roadmaps we previously shared will be shifting. We want to take the time to evaluate the work in front of us, and then lock down the updated schedule. While we'd love to share a concrete details today, stepping back to get our plans straight will let us come back to you with a clear timeline. This game is nothing without you, our community. Thank you for sticking with us, and thank you for everything you bring to Tamriel, the ESO team. And this is something that really means a lot. The community needs to hear this during these trying times, these troubling times. It's one of those things that I really wish the team at Fallout 76 would say something similar, because people leaving Fallout 76 is always a scary thing. People leaving a project like ESO, like a lot of the list had folks from ESO, Blades, and so forth and so on. But you see, Fallout 76 is in a predicament, because right now we just made a video going over an interview with Tonic, because he is a long-term Fallout 76 content creator, and he made a video talking about he was kind of done with Fallout 76 and he was switching to another game to cover. And there were things that we mentioned during that interview, like the roadmap section, talking about how we haven't had a roadmap in many years. Nuka World on Tour was our last roadmap, and I would love to see the Bethesda team that's working on Fallout 76 take this time to develop a roadmap, to give us a look at the future on what could be. Now, I can understand where folks on the ESO side are definitely scared, because there are things changing from how they normally worked in ESO, and they are going towards more of a Fallout 76 season. So we know how that's turned out in Fallout 76 is a lot of players enjoyed it for a long time, but right now Fallout 76 players are in a predicament to where there's a lot of burnout happening in Appalachia. And something that I really want players to do is to give constructive feedback, because like I said earlier, your feedback, your thought right now means more than you know. Don't just give some bullshit like, brah, 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 brah. You know exactly what I'm going to say. Just don't say something like that. Give some constructive feedback. Let the team know what you would like to see. I'm not saying just go ham talking about nuclear winter or PvP or anything like that. I know there are people that want that, and there's no real wrong way to play Fallout 76, but talk about things that you want to see, like maybe some new story to the pit for an expedition. Maybe give some clues into the team on what you would like to see. Now, I will be making some videos in the future going over things that I'd like to see Bethesda do a little bit differently for Fallout 76, and we've kind of covered those things in the past as well, but I think right now is the time that ESO players, Fallout 76 players, Starfield players, if there's something that you want to see different, if there's something you want to see done, right now is the time to say it. Right now is the time to give constructive feedback because the team has always been listening. But during a time of restructuring, friends, that is the perfect time for you to say something. So, friends that lost your jobs, I'm sorry again. I really hope you find something like meaningful that you enjoy to do, because no one wants to go into work and just work a job. Everyone wants to do something where they make a change or they do something that matters. And to those 1,600 people that are potentially on the chopping block for this fiscal year of 2027, my thoughts and prayers go out to y'all. My thoughts and prayers go out to those that lost their job. During these times, I've been laid off before. I understand what you're going through, but genuinely, players, speak up or forever hold your peace, because this is the time during a restructure where your voice really does matter. And honestly, it's never an easy thing on Xbox or anything like that to do these kind of layoffs, because Asha Sharma came in, she spent 100 days figuring out what's going on, what works, what hasn't worked. And honestly, from a CEO standpoint or a leader standpoint, if you get a new boss in, like if you've ever worked a day in your life and you had a new boss come in and they just start barking orders, like those people fucking suck. Like you want people like Asha that come in, sit back in the room, listen, investigate what's going on, and then come up with some solutions. So to Xbox, thank you for being open. Thank you for being honest. And just thanks for being direct as a company to players. I know it's a hard decision, and it's one that nobody wants to make. Everybody just wants to have a business that has 1 billion players a day. No money problems. We can hire everybody that we want to, but it's not the world we live in. And I'm sorry that if this video was a little bit down in the dumps as far as gaming news, but it's kind of hard to sit here and not have this video be the way that it is, because it's not good news. It's not bad news. It's more of the future is undetermined and we don't know what the future holds. But I think the future is still bright for everyone in Fallout 76. I still think that ESO and Fallout 76 have a long lifespan. And I look forward to seeing what the future holds. I just really hope the team of Fallout 76 can knock it out of the park, because honestly, even if I wasn't creating content on that damn game, I still want it to live on. Like, it's been one that I've enjoyed many, many, many years, and I have made many, many friends, and that's a project that I want to see continue going on. But if it ever does come to a point where they have to shutter the servers or anything like that, hopefully there is an end-of-life plan where maybe we can host servers or something like that in the future. But let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Seriously, thank you so much for listening to me talk about the gaming news. Like I said, if you want to see this type of content, maybe not so down in dumps, maybe we can have some good fucking gaming news in the future here soon. I mean, we have Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resync coming out. We have NCAA 2027 on the PC for the first time. So there is good gaming news, and it's not all bad news. I mean, it's not all PlayStation getting rid of disc and all that. I mean, there is some good news. So, just let me know if you'd like to see this sort of content kind of added to the YouTube channel. Link to the podcast that Frugan and I are going to get back going down in the description below. But seriously, thank you so much for being here. Thank you to the channel members for your continued support. Y'all have a great, wonderful day out there in the wasteland.